Zheng Shan Xiao Zhong, Right Mountain Little Kind, is a red tea. In fact, it is the original red tea. The category of fully oxidized teas, known in the West as black teas, was invented in the Wuyi Mountains in a place called Tong Mu Pass, which is where this tea is from, and this is, in fact, that tea. There's a colorful story that goes along with it that I'm not going to tell right now, but if you want to hear that story, you can go watch the red tea episode of Gong Fu Tea Cha. This comes to us from a man named Chen Shui Man. He is from the Chen family, who has been making Zheng Shan Xiao Zhong in the Tongmuguan since before it was UNESCO World Heritage Site, which it is now. And going to visit him and meeting him and seeing this traditional process by which they make these trees was a huge highlight of my time in the Wuyi Mountains. So this is a very special tea for me. It is, however, very divisive. Being smoked with pine wood, traditionally it is often called Lapsang Souchong. There's a tea called Lapsang Souchong that is modeled after this tea that you see often and is very famous and has a strong smoky taste right off at the beginning. But authentic Zheng Shan Xiao Zhong has to come from Wuyi Mountains. It has to come from Tongmuguan, from this one little spot, just like champagne has to come from Champagne in France. Zheng Shan Xiao Zhong is the same way. That's what they mean by right mountain. It has to be from the right mountain in the right spot. This tea being smoked is very divisive. Some people love it and some people hate it. I happen to be in the former camp. If you like, for example, the smell of a campfire the next day you put on your clothes and it smells campfirey, then you like it. It has kind of a very warm, peaceful, masculine vibe. I like to think of it kind of like Wolverine living in the Canadian Rockies with Silver Fox. When I make this tea, because it's such a fine red tea and has such a nice fragrance right off the bat, I don't actually like to rinse it. I will just pour a little bit of hot water in it and let the leaves kind of slurp that up, soak that up, and absorb it. That's called the Jinrun Pao technique that I use for teas like this, tippy red teas like this. And I like to do that to preserve that first steeping. I don't pour out the rinse. I don't pour out the first steeping. I use this technique instead. And I like to use hot water to steep this tea, and I'll steep it relatively quickly. Sometimes I'll be pouring from a little higher up to distress the leaves, maybe towards the end of the process. As it's flagging, I'll distress those leaves a little bit. But it's very easy to pour, and from over the course of 7 to 10 steepings, you get a very metered, even, and balanced progression with these fast hot steeps, where each steeping has a deep red woody flavor that has this beautiful red tea progression with this mellow smoky note over the top of it.